In a small village in Domboshawa lived an old witch named Gogo Mutsai. She was known for her strange ways and mysterious powers. One night, under the bright light of the full moon, she made an invocation from the dark arts. She wanted a child, but instead of a baby, a snake appeared. The snake had golden eyes and could talk. She called it Taku. Gogo Mutsai and Taku made a secret pact. Taku was to steal money from the villagers and give it all to Gogo Mutsai, who in turn promised that she would take care of Taku and make him live comfortably. Taku was no mean snake. With the flick of his tongue, he would creep into homes like a mouse and swallow coins and jewels. Every night, Taku would slither around the village, gathering treasures while the villagers lay sleeping. The following morning, Gogo Mutsai would find Taku in her hut, which would be full of all the stolen treasures. She would laugh and rejoice with Taku. Gogo Mutsai would use the money to ensure that they had a comfortable life. The villagers became very bewildered as their valuables started disappearing out of nowhere. They became suspicious and some even terrified, but none of them suspected the old witch and her snake. As the years went by, however, Gogo Mutsai thoughtlessly broke her promise to Taku by leaving him at the mercy of a wandering hunter. Bittered by the betrayal, Taku angrily confronted Gogo Mutsai. "You broke our pact," he hissed. "Now you must find me a wife, or I will leave and show myself to the villagers." Gogo Mutsai, fearing that she would be exposed, agreed to this impossible task. She went to all the nearby villagers looking for a bride for Taku. She asked if any woman would agree to marry a snake. She promised that the woman would have a very comfortable life as the snake was very rich. People either laughed or scornfully waved her away, thinking that she was mad. Days turned into weeks, and Gogo Mutsai became desperate. Meanwhile, Taku grew restless and started sneaking out of Gogo Mutsai's hut so that the villagers could catch glimpses of the giant snake. The villagers were aghast at the appearance of Taku. They whispered to each other about the existence of a Goliath snake around Gogo Mutsai's hut. Fear gripped the whole village. Children were not allowed to play outside, and no one was bold enough to walk out after sunset. Gogo Mutsai knew she was gradually running out of time, yet she could not find a bride for Taku. Every evening, she returned home exhausted and dispirited. However, one night, Taku could not suppress his anger anymore. He greatly terrified Gogo Mutsai by crawling around her hut and hissing threats. "Find me a wife, or I will swallow you whole," he threatened. She pleaded for more time as she quivered with fear, but Taku was ruthless. Every other night, he tormented her, with anger showing in his glowing golden eyes. In the village lived a cunning girl named Tariro. She had heard all the stories of the giant snake and the old witch. Tariro was a brave and inquisitive girl. One day, she decided to follow Gogo Mutsai to find out the truth for herself. In doing so, she witnessed the witch talking with Taku and understood that the snake was in fact magical. Tariro thought of a rescue mission to save the village from the witch and the snake. She gathered all the villagers and told them of her plan. Together, they walked to Gogo Mutsai's hut. "We know your secret," declared Tariro boldly. "The snake goes, or we shall chase you away." Cornered and desperate, Gogo Mutsai attempted to reason with the villagers, but the villagers were in no mood to listen. They were armed with sticks and torches. Suddenly, Taku appeared. his eyes glowing with fury. The villagers in Taku clashed, and Taku seemed unbeatable. But Tariro had a special herb her grandmother had told her about. The herb could inflict weakness on magical beings. She threw the herb at Taku, who moaned as he became weaker. The villagers started to go towards Taku to kill him, but Gogo Mutsai screamed and begged for his life to be spared. Tariro's herbs had truly weakened Taku, and as the villagers managed to capture him, they took him to the depth of the forest and set him free. It would be impossible for him to ever return to the village. All the power and wealth was taken from Gogo Mutsai, who had been banished from the village. Peace returned to the village once again, and the villagers celebrated Tariro's bravery. The legend of the witch and the enchanted serpent lived on, a tale of greed, broken promises, and the courage to stand against evil.